Good morning and happy Monday. Yes, it's definitely getting to be haircut time. So we've been doing this now, I think today is 200 days. If not, it's close to 200 days. So we're past 6 months of morning talks every 4:30. It's amazing how quickly that happens. So the Rocky movies were on all weekend. One of the channels was doing a Rocky marathon where they played Rocky 1 through Rocky 27 or whatever it is, all day, every day. And I'm a huge fan. My wife is an even bigger fan, especially Rocky 3. And, you know, as I'm watching these periodically, they would be on in between, while we're working or we're talking about things or covering stuff. And it's the same movie. Every Rocky movie is the same movie. Everyone is the same movie where he goes up against the odds and he comes back, And remember when the first Rocky was being made, when he wrote the script, it was rejected by everybody. It was rejected by all of the film companies, and they said it was hokey, it was predictable. And then, of course, when he said that he wanted to star in it, they thought that that was crazy, which, of course, it was the perfect thing because it's his life. I mean, Sylvester Stallone went all in, burned his boats, and I've told the story. If you want me to tell it again this week, I'll be happy to. But, he was essentially homeless at a period of time and offered a large amount of money for the script and said no. Matt Damon did the same thing when he was working his way to making Good Will Hunting. And so he's the perfect person to play that character. And why does that story resonate so much with us? And the answer is because, every great story is a story of going from slavery to freedom. Every great story is a story of going from some type of captivity, prison, however you want to call it, and breaking through to freedom. And that's what every one of these Rocky stories are. And in all of these stories, in order to break through, it's all part of him, and it's something that he can control, and that's effort. The only thing in his life that he can control is his will to win. And he puts it all on the table. And win or lose, it's all there. And that's every story in that movie. And why does it compel us? Well, it compels us because there's part of us that wants to be in that situation. You want to be the person that puts it all out there, and then hopefully it's successful. But either way, even if it's not successful, you realize that there's part of you that isn't doing that. In my opinion, if you watch these movies and you become emotional, it's because not only are you happy for the person, the character in the movie, but you know that there's a part of you that hasn't done that. There's a part of you that out of fear of failure, fear of whatever, you haven't gone all in and you haven't committed to that whatever it is that you want to do in your life. And so there's a part of you that's kind of missing. We all want to go all in on a situation and hopefully have it work out. But either way, do it with everything that we've got. And what are we dealing with right now in life? Well, we're really dealing with prison. If you think about it in a way, the people in old folks' homes are being put into their rooms and they can't interact with anybody. And I'm not making a political statement. I'm not saying this is right or wrong. We're dealing with a significant virus. I'm just saying that's the reality of what we're dealing with. We're being isolated. We're being shut down. Our businesses are being closed without, and there's nothing that we can do about it. I mean, that's what's happening around the world. It's not just in this country. It's happening around the world. Germany just shut down again. Great Britain just shut down again. So that is why there's so much resistance to all this and why it's so emotional for everybody is because that's what's really happening is in our minds and emotionally we're being put in prison. When you're bad in prison, you go into isolation. We're not supposed to be isolated. We're not creatures that are supposed to be isolated. We're supposed to gather together. We're supposed to live in communities. If you study the blue zones, the areas of the world where people live past 100, one of the things that they all have in common is a true sense of community and togetherness, and that's part of what fuels them to live past. So what's the difference between every successful business person and entrepreneur and the ones that don't make it? The difference is hunger. And what's the difference between Rocky in all of his movies and the people that he's facing? Hunger. That's the whole point of Rocky 3 is Eye of the Tiger. You had the Eye of the Tiger and I didn't. It's the hunger. It's the drive. It isn't the talent. It isn't necessarily the training. He has to train, but there's nothing that says that his training is any better than anybody else's training. It isn't, timing. It isn't location. It isn't right place at the right time. It isn't any of that stuff. It's just will. It's hunger and will. It's the thing that he can control. So as we head in to the winter, that's the thing that we can control as we're dealing with this virus and this new reality that we have in our world. We can deal with our hunger. We can control our desire. And in a way, this is a great opportunity. The people that come out of this and thrive are going to come out on top of everything, because many people are not. Many people are going to feel like they're a victim. Many people are going to feel like this is unfair, which maybe it is. Many people are going to feel like there's nothing that they can do, and they're going to stay at home and they're going to wither up. There will be few who use their hunger and drive to figure out ways not only to survive this, but to thrive in it. Because in this environment, there's always opportunities. Whenever there's this much disruption, there's always opportunities. And the ones that have tremendous hunger are the ones that are going to come out on top. And when they do come out on top, they're going to come out on top in a huge way. The rewards are going to be disproportional. When I'm not just talking about money, if it's your business, then any business that survives, but relationships, family, the ones that use this opportunity to figure out how is it that I can control my response to this are the ones that are going to come out really appreciating everything in a year and a half. So remember those lessons. The point of those movies and why they move us so much is because it isn't so much that he wins, it's what he puts on the table. It's the effort and the absolute tenacity with which he goes at it, sacrificing everything with no hope of it being successful, but he doesn't care. He's going to go in and he's going to give it everything that he has so that at the end of the day, he can look at himself in the mirror and say, I gave it everything that I had. That's really what it's all about. So on this Monday, my message for this week is leave it all on the court. Leave it all on the table. Leave it all in the courtroom. Leave it all in the office. Leave it all there. Whatever it is that you got, give that maximum amount of effort and hunger every day so that when you go to bed at night, you can look in yourself and say, I gave it all. I gave everything that I had. There was nothing more to give, and really mean it. And then you can go to sleep and get up and do it again the next day. Have a great day, everybody. Happy Monday. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.